Hey, happy hump day. So I have been reading this book, throwing it up on my social media pages and on my YouTube channel because this book changed my life. It helped me get past addictive behaviors that were stemmed around relationships, and really I stopped being negative, stopped playing the victim and all the scenarios that I thought that life was doing me wrong in. And so I've been sharing this and it's helped a lot of people. So I hope that this is something that maybe it doesn't apply to every part of your life, but maybe is something that you can use later on down the road, or even something that you can use to help somebody who might be struggling with these issues. So the topic of this reading, so this book is basically set up where you could read a passage every day and work on that in that area of your life. And it's really about recovering from codependent relationships, but I found that it applies in so many aspects of my life and others' lives. So this topic is going to be about stopping victimization and owning our power. Says, before recovery, many of us lacked a frame of reference with which to name the victimization and abuse in our life. We may have thought it was normal that people mistreated us. We may have believed that we deserved mistreatment. We may have been attracted to people who mistreated us. We need to let go on a deep level of our need to be victimized and to be victims. We need to let go of our need to be in dysfunctional relationships and systems at work, in love, in family relationships, in friendships. We deserve better. We deserve much better. It's our right. When we believe in our right to happiness, we will have happiness. We will fight for that right, and the fight will emerge from our souls, break free from oppression and victimization. We need to make a distinction between powerlessness and owning our power. The first step is accepting powerlessness. There are some things we can't do, no matter how long or hard we try. These things include changing other people, solving their problems, and controlling their behavior. Sometimes we feel powerless over ourselves, what we feel or believe, or the effects of a particular situation or person on us. It's important to surrender to powerlessness, but it's equally important to own our own power. We aren't trapped. We aren't helpless. Sometimes it may feel like we are, but we aren't. The middle ground of self-care lies between the two extremes of controlling others and allowing them to control us. We can walk that ground gently or assertively, but in confidence that it is our right and responsibility. Let the power come to walk that path. So last night, this is kind of up top topic, but still on topic and relatable to it. I finally watched Bad Moms Christmas, and I have a horrible relationship with the woman that refers herself as my mom. I was adopted at 9 months old. She was incredibly hard on me, watched my father abuse me, and never stuck up for me. I ended up leaving home at 15. I tried to have a relationship with her and them, and I finally ended it in 2008. But I was watching A Bad Mom Christmas last night, and it's super funny, super vulgar, which is like my type of humor. But it showed the three women that had these relationships with their mothers that were based on love, but they were totally dysfunctional and totally unhealthy. One had a mother that was completely absent, and it really came down to the fact that she just didn't feel like she was good enough and that she was good at being a mom, so it was just easier to avoid the situation. And I was that type of mom. I was beat down my whole entire life about that I was not good enough, and as a parent I just did what I could. I took care of my kids, made sure they were clothed and fed, but I really didn't think that I stood up to the test of being a good mom, so I just kind of avoided it. I worked a lot. I'm not that way anymore, thank God. I was able to identify that and change that. But that was one mom. Another mom was a mom that was close to her daughter but had lost her identity, completely lost her identity when she had a child. And then the father died, and then she became like so codependent, so dependent on her daughter, to the point that she was smothering her, that it was unhealthy, that she wasn't having friends, that she had to be with her all the time. And I have been in that role as the daughter, that my adopted mother didn't have an identity, and once she became a mom, that became her only identity, and she became so fixated on me and controlling me and doing this and that and that. And so I could relate to that. But then there was the other one where the mother was criticized horribly by her mother, which made her feel inadequate as a mom. So she started doing these things and expecting greatness and pushing her daughter, and ended up pushing her daughter away. And then later on in the end, they find, sorry to ruin it if you haven't watched it yet, but it's still worth watching. But she finds out that her mom really was not a perfect person. She was very much a very insecure person who constantly worried if she was a good mom, if she was doing it right, worried about trying to be perfect because she didn't feel worthy. And her daughter said, you are a good mom, you are worthy, and I love you. And it was like such this like cathartic moment between them both. And I thought, God, I need to find it in my heart to, I have forgiven, but say that I say the things I need to say to, I don't know, make amends with my adopted parents, because I see that now, that even though they seem like horrid people, that they would demand so much of me, it's the fact that nothing was ever good enough for themselves. And I get that. And it was like, I've known that deep down, but it's like when you've been hurt, and the only thing you can control is keeping people at arm's length, you do that. And so the universe has been sending me some signs about being more open and receptive to that. And, you know, as silly as it is, that movie last night really helped me, you know, be like, this is another sign from the universe. And so this book helps. You know, today's reading was really about basically controlling the controllable and understanding that you have more power than you realize, but also giving up, you know, the things that you're trying to control, that you're trying to have power over. So I hope this helped. I have a YouTube channel. It's Mindy Horde. You can find me under, it's youtube.com/Mindy Horde. So I actually have a playlist of all the passages I've been reading. This is a book that's based on 365 like affirmations. So I have been reading it. Sometimes I get behind and read like 3 or 4 days at a time, but it's going to be up there. So if you want, check it out. But I also just, you know, suggest getting this book, The Language of Letting Go, from Melody Beatty. She also has a book called Codependence No More, and there's actually a workbook with it. And the one thing that I've learned in personal development and self-help stuff is that if there's work there, do the work, because that's where you're gonna make the change. So hope this has been helpful.